Greetings, I am Dapper Dan the Gentleman. Listen, if I had $1 for every time someone said, "Oh, I like your shirt, where did you get it?" I'd be a millionaire. Well, there is a perfectly good explanation for why my answer is usually, I don't remember. Today we're talking about shopping like a gentleman. All right, now you might be surprised, honestly, to know that I shop almost anywhere. Sometimes I forget where I buy something. Sometimes I forget where I purchased it. Sorry. Now, today I'm going to give you a little secret. One of my biggest secrets, and it's just between you and me, so don't tell anybody. I'm going to give you just a few places that I shop or I frequent. Now, something about shopping that I kind of want to share with you is that you don't want to make one place your one-stop shop. It should not be obvious to someone that you shop at a certain place. And I think that's one of the greatest things about style. You can piece it together and make it your own. That's what style actually is. You take little pieces of fashion and you piece them together to make your own style. So my goal is not to recreate Dapper Dan. My goal is to help you to be your best you, right? So some of the places that I shop, for instance, are places like Ross. Now, none of these places that I'm going to mention, I do need to give a disclaimer, are paying me to tell you this, but they're just a little bit of things that I want to share with you, and I have to give you names in order for you to do it, right? So again, Ross is one of my favorite places to shop. It's a place that you honestly have to be a little bit patient for. And shopping in general, you do have to be a little patient, especially if you're going to go from one place to another or several places to find the things that you're looking for. So you have to have some patience. You have to have some time. Give yourself a few hours perhaps to just peruse and browse and find what you're looking for, because everything they're not placed together, they're not stacked together, they're not hung together. You have to kind of sort through to find some gems. And it's the same thing with other places that I'm going to mention. So Ross is one of them. Target is another place that I shop pretty frequently. Now, again, I'm not looking for certain things. I'm just going to find what I can find. And when you do that and you have the patience to do it, you never know what you might brush up on, right? Another place that I shop is Plato's Closet. I don't know, honestly, if that is a national chain, but Plato's Closet is on the end of thrift, right? Most of the items there have been pre-owned. Someone sold the item to Plato's Closet. But the thing about Plato's Closet that I like are they only, for the most part anyway, take name brand items. So these items are going to be your generally upper end or higher end items, and they're gently used or gently worn or never worn before. Some of the items still have the tags on them, so you can actually wind up with something brand new for a much discounted price. So I wanted to share that with you also. Another place that I shop that you might be surprised, honestly, for clothing, yes, is Walmart. Who would have thought? Walmart every now and then has an item or two or three that is unique and very cool. One of the things that I found out about Walmart that I really like is that they don't repeat. But they have something for a season, an item, a shirt, or a pair of shorts, whatnot. They don't repeat it. Now, I generally find things at Walmart that I know that I'm only going to wear for the season. That's just something that I already know, but it's cool. It might be a little bit trendy, and I paid a much lower price for it. So that's a little secret that I wanted to share with you as well. Now, I do shop at places like Zara. Again, for certain pieces. I don't find entire outfits at Zara. I just go in for a shirt or a tie or a belt or a hat, things like that. Great items, very well made items. And other places that you can find things along that line, or that I do anyway, are places like Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom's. Again, I don't find entire outfits generally in these places or even look for them, but I look for pieces. I look for items that I know can add to my wardrobe to make it more robust and make it more, make it stretch a bit. And then, of course, you have your Macy's, Express, H&M, things like that. I do shop at these places as well. So because of that, and I'm all over the place, there's a much higher chance that I honestly do not remember where I purchased something. And that's just what it is. But the fact that all of these things can come together to create a cohesive and great look that's fashionable and gets the attention and gets compliments says a whole lot, right? So it doesn't matter necessarily where you buy things, but it matters how you piece them together and how you use them, right? So something about shopping that I want to help you with, or help you to know what to look for when you shop. The first thing you want to look for is style. You want to look for classic style. That is, classic pieces, things that are going to be in style forever, right? One of the brands lines that I see making items that are classic, that never go out of style, is Ralph Lauren. So if you're looking for something classic that you know is going to last a long time, that'll never go out of style, go along the lines or look at Ralph Lauren and how they do things, how they make their items and how they package items, so to speak, and go along with that. Classic, beautiful pieces that you can piece and pair and mix and match and look great any time of the year, any season, any year, is Ralph Lauren. I'm not telling you to buy Ralph Lauren specifically, but use that as your benchmark or as a prototype, so to speak, okay? So look for things that will never go out of style. Steer away from super trendy items. Now, I'm not telling you not to buy trendy items if you're a trendy person. I wear trendy things once in a while too. I don't always wear suits and ties. As much as I love the suit and tie, I love it very much, but I do wear trendy items. But when I do that, I don't spend a whole lot of money for it, I'll be honest with you, generally. I'm gonna spend a lower amount of money because, I know this is only gonna be in style for 3 or 6 months and I'll never wear it again. I'm not gonna buy a $300 shirt that I wear 2 times. Get out of here with that. So think about items that will stay in your closet for years and help to, again, build up your wardrobe and steer away from things that are passé. Another thing that you want to look for are well-made items, things that are put together, pieced together very nice. Now, these things may generally be a little bit more expensive. You may have to put it in your mind that you're going to spend a little bit more money for well-made items. Again, those classic items you may want to spend a little bit more money for. And the way that you can tell that something is well-made is not necessarily by the label. Now, personally, I've never been a label person. It doesn't matter who makes it necessarily. That doesn't mean that it's the best item to purchase or to add to your wardrobe at all. I definitely am not one to boast about who I'm wearing. Like, you might be on the red carpet or something like that. I'm not wearing the biggest name brand and trying to shout out a designer. That's not an everyday life thing. Come on. You want to wear something that is that looks nice and that is well made. Now, I'm going to give you 3 short things very quickly that will help you to know whether something is well made. And there may be a little bit more extensive explanation to this, but this is very brief, okay? I'm going to give you a test that you want to use, a 3-part test. The first part is the touch test. The touch test is done by this. You want to feel your item, touch it, handle your pieces. This is something that you're considering buying. Feel free to put your hands on it, touch it. What you're looking for is something that is smooth, that is soft. Ask yourself the question, is it smooth, is it soft, or is it rough, or is it very thin? If it's something that's very rough or very thin, that lets you know right away it's very low quality. And you probably want to steer away from that if you want to keep it in your wardrobe and rotate it for longer than just a season or so, okay? The second is the light test. You conduct this by holding up the fabric to the light. You can stretch it to a degree, slightly. You don't want to ruin it, right? You haven't purchased it yet. It's not yours. But you hold it up to the light and you want to see that it is not loosely sewn together or very light, very, very sheer. Something like that is telling you that it's probably going to be of a lower quality. What you want to see is that density, density is what you're looking for in the fabric of the item. How closely are the woven pieces of your items, right? So that is the light test. The third test that you want to conduct is the seams test. I call it the seams test. What you should be looking for are finished items. You don't want to see any fraying or any loose threads or anything like that. At the bottom generally is where you find those loose threads in a lower quality item, where it could snag easily or tear or rip without much stress on the item at all. Check the buttonholes. See that they're very well sewn together. Nothing that is very, very thin or flimsy. The buttonhole should be sewn very, very tightly with the threads to make sure that it doesn't fray or stretch, where the button will not stay closed. Right? That is a sign of a lower quality item as well. Also, check the collar of your shirt to make sure that it has interfacing, the collar and the cuff. It should have interfacing, something to make it just a little bit more sturdy, so that once it's washed over time, it doesn't become very loose and very bumpy and things like that. That's a lower quality item that you won't find out necessarily when you're shopping, but after a couple of washes, you'll see that you probably should have spent a few more dollars so that you can get more wear out of that shirt. Just to throw out a few things that I'm wearing today. This shirt, I love color anyway, but this shirt here comes from JCPenney. It's another place that I shop. I didn't mention earlier. It comes from JCPenney. It's about $45, I think, like something like that. Very well made, very sturdy, washes well, wears well, lays well. So I'm gonna throw that in there too. Try your clothes on, try them on. I know a lot of guys hate to shop, period. And it takes extra time to actually try clothes on. But when you know that you're going to be shopping, wear something that you can toss off, like a t-shirt and maybe sweats or something like that, that it doesn't take a lot of time and effort to switch out really quick, so that you can try on your shirts. If you can, dress shirts are sometimes packaged, and don't rip open the package if the store doesn't allow that, guys. Please be courteous. But know your size. If you don't know your size, have someone at the store, if it's a reputable, good place to shop, they'll be able to measure you and make sure that you have the right neck size and the right sleeve length and things like that. Always wear your right size, and I'll talk about that more in another video. Size. So this again comes from JCPenney. Very well made shirt. Beautiful. I have a few of these in different colors. The suit I'm wearing actually comes from K&G. Now, K&G is known for basically giving away suits, right? But I do find every now and then they do have some very well made suits. You know, they're not perfect, they're not high end at all, but there's a little bit of character in them, which is why I purchased this one. I love the character, I love some of the lines and the seams, things like that I checked. You know, the few things that were left to be desired, but overall I loved the look of it, the sheen of it, and the fit. I loved how it fell when I put it across my shoulders, the arm length, all those things were really, really great. So this comes from K&G. It was honestly about $129 for the suit. The tie, honestly, I don't remember where I got it. See, there we go. I don't remember where I bought the tie, but you can find bow ties in most places, Macy's, even K&G and JCPenney, things like many places to find bow ties if you are even into wearing them at all. In another future video, I'll be sharing with you how to tie a bow tie, as well as a future video for suits, how to find a good quality suit and how to best wear a suit, how a suit should fit, and things like that. We'll talk about that in the future. And then my pocket square, I think this came from Macy's as well. It was about $25, something like that. But you can find pocket squares for $10, $15 in certain places. If you don't want to match your tie exactly perfectly with your pocket square, it's just a sign of an amateur. You want to have some contrast and pull out the color from one or the other and kind of let them do their work on their own without being too pushy and matchy-matchy. Steer away from that. I don't want to go into too much detail with each and every particular item and how it works, but we'll do that in future videos, I promise you. If you stick around, subscribe, like this video, please, share it, let someone know what we're doing over here at A Gentleman's Domain. I would be so grateful. That's all I have for today. And I just want to close out this video by saying what I always say. You only get one chance to make a first impression. I hope you're having a great week, and we'll see you next Wednesday for our next segment of A Gentleman's Domain. Have